Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is notgiuseppe and welcome back to Let's Discuss Assassin's Creed Modern Day Story. So first off, I just want to thank Long Live Ezio for the comment he left on the last video. I really appreciate that you took the time out to do that, and it actually provided me with a lot of information that I didn't know about the Modern Day Story, so thanks again. This video will be based on his comment, so I'm going to start off with the first thing he talks about, and that's the developer Patrice Deselites. I've probably not pronounced that right, but oh well. So I did some background research on Patrice, and I actually found out that he's in a lawsuit now with Ubisoft. I'll not go too much into that, but basically he's suing them for the rights to this brand new IP called 1666 and about $400,000. But what I want to talk about is the comment stated that Patrice left his role as creative director after Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And I stated in the last video that that's when the modern day story seemed to drop off. And I don't think it's a bad thing to say, or it's wrong to say, that the time when Patrice left and the time when the modern day story started to dip was a coincidence. I mean, I can't see it being a coincidence, because Patrice seems like a really highly rated creative director in old games that he's worked on, because he's worked from Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed and many other games, and a lot of people have said that they like his work and he does a good job when he does it. So Patrice leaves after AC Brotherhood, then that's when things go downhill. But what I also want to talk about is the fact that the focus of the modern day story seemed to drift away from the Templars versus the Assassins and the satellite in the sky. Sorry, I blanked out for a minute. And start to focus on this first civilization, which is not a bad idea. But my problem is the fact that it was given a primary focus. It should have just been side by side. Have the first civ on one side, have the satellite on the other. Don't just disregard the satellite, because that would have been a perfect way to maybe tie up the entire series of Assassin's Creed, because it remains Templar versus Assassins based. Instead, disregard the Templars and Assassins completely, and then we'll just focus on the first civilization, which Ubisoft seemed to do during Assassin's Creed 3. Another part of the comment that I want to talk about is Long Live Ezio states that from AC1 to AC Brotherhood, he found the series very good. I think that's fair to say. If not, please, I'm sorry for saying that. But that's what it seems in the comment. From the first 3 games, really enjoyed it. And the modern day story was good. And I think we've cleared that up now, that AC1 to AC Brotherhood was sort of the modern day story's best times. After Revelations, and AC3 states that it was basically a huge letdown. That's how I interpreted his comment. And again, I agree. AC Revelations, as I said before, pretty much a flop, gameplay-wise, story-wise. The only thing I did like was this sort of puzzle that you could go and do. The 5 puzzles on Animus Island that give you sort of a background story narrated by Desmond about his life. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Desmond was never really given enough time to sort of flourish into this really good character. I think he had all the aspects to be one, from his likability and his general nature, but the fact that it was given 5 or 10 minutes playtime in Assassin's Creed 1 and then sort of 20-30 minutes in Assassin's Creed 2, it didn't really justify him as a main character, if you can understand what I mean. If Ubisoft had took the route of maybe giving it 60-40, so 60% in history, 40% in modern day, then I think it's fair to say that we would have seen a different twist or a different turn on the modern day story in terms of people actually enjoying it, because I know there's a lot of people who actually didn't care for the modern day story, and I think that's because when playing a game, this is how I feel, when playing a game, you want to sort of form a relationship with the main character in a game. And this can be said for any game, from Assassin's Creed to Batman, Arkham Origins, or any game really. When you've got a main character and that character takes a lead role across a franchise, you want to form a relationship with that character. So it makes you want to care for him or care for her, and it will make you want to come back. What Ubisoft did was they tried to cram everything in and tried to make people like Desmond in, as I said before, 10, 20 minutes. It can't be done. I think this is just one of the big downfalls of the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's making the fan base like the historical character and making the fan base like the modern day character. It can be done, but the way Ubisoft went about it was not the right way. And I do feel sorry for them, because where they went with the modern day story, I think, is not the way they would have anticipated to go, the way they would have liked to go. And that's because I think themselves don't know how to sort of tie it up and how to get it back on track. I mean, they won't admit this, but it does seem like they've sort of lost the plot, kind of, and don't really know which way to go now. And that's because the first civilization took the main role, to put it bluntly. If they didn't take the main role, we would have seen a better story, and a story that people would have obviously liked a lot more. Because as I've said, people didn't like the modern day story. It sort of aggravated them, and I don't know why, because I really enjoyed it, but it would have been nice for a lot more people to sort of like the story. And I think if a lot more people did like the story, we would have seen a big development in the modern day aspect, and then hopefully seen a modern day story game with Desmond taking the helm. Unfortunately, where we're at now, that will probably not happen. I'd be very surprised if we saw a full modern day game now. But that doesn't mean Ubisoft can't get the story back on track. So in Assassin's Creed 7, the next one, we may see a jump back to, say, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2, when we had a bit more freedom with the modern day story, instead of just being limited to, like we were in Black Flag, just the Abstergo entertainment and finding notes and computers. As much as it is fun, it's limited. It's limited a lot, actually. And this sort of peed me off, I'll not swear. But it did really anger me that it's gone from having so much potential and then dropping within the space of 2 years. And it angers me because I did actually really enjoy it. And I know the user Long Live Ezio left a comment. I checked his channel and he loved it as well. And these people who are really, really into it. And I feel sorry for myself and for them, because the modern day content we've been given is really poor from Revelations. Well, from Assassin's Creed 3 and Revelations. The way they went about it was sort of a disgrace, really. I mean, so if you know your creative director is going to be leaving, because I'm sure Ubisoft had some sort of idea that Patrice would be leaving after AC Brotherhood, you try to replace the Patrice with someone sort of on his level. You've created I see it as a masterpiece. Well, it was a masterpiece, but now it's sort of an 8 out of 10 if we're rating it. But anyway, if you know Patrice is going to be leaving and you want to carry on this franchise at a good level, not churning out rubbish games or mediocre games each year, you'd replace him with someone who is a decent creative director. Did they do it? No. But that's for another story. It seems Ubisoft have got some personal things against Patrice, and it seems that they actually don't like him, but that's for another day. Again, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like or favourite, and tell me your ideas on this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? If you do, remember to comment. I'm open to all comments, even if they're completely against what I say. But again, thank you for watching, and I would also like to thank Long Live Ezio again for his comment. I'd also like to say, if the audio is a bit jumpy, I had a bit of problems with it, but that it shouldn't be too bad. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.